What's up, everyone? How are you all this evening? A pleasure. Always. So, why am I here? Well, because I exist. That's why. Let's be real about it. Right? But I have something I want to share with you, and show each and every one of you. Alright? So, I got up to stretch. Oh, yeah. I needed it. My chair is ancient tech. What do I mean by that? Oh, here, I'll show you. We'll just kill two birds with one stone here. Why not? My chair is old tech. That's actually a pillow. Alright? But yes, it's old tech. Oh, and a blanket. It's old! But it has a straight back on it. And I like to keep my posture straight. Helps me meditate better and focus. Right? Right. Oh, what I was going to share. Oh, check out my window. What do we have here? Oh, look at her. She's so gorgeous. Isn't she? Just look at her in all her gorgeousness. Yes, she is gorgeous. Come on. You can't say she's not gorgeous. What's wrong with you? I said, hold that thought, because I'll be right back. Said I'll be right back. Be right back. Come take a walk with me. What a beautiful night. Yes. Yes, it is a beautiful night indeed. So I wanted it to get a little bit darker real quick. So we can go get a nice view of gorgeous, beautiful Luna in her waxing gibbous face. Right? No, it just doesn't do any justice to see her like that. So I'm going to take a picture of her instead. Yes. So anyhow, I really wish my video camera would, do the damn thing like when taking a picture, right? But anyways, let me give you the date real quick, because it is currently Thursday and it's September the 4th, the year of the 9, also known as 2025. Now, what do I mean by the year of the 9? I mean that when you add 5 plus 4, you get 9, because 2025, right? 225 is 9, right? So currently, like I've already mentioned, Luna is currently in her waxing gibbous phase, right? So this is the final stretch before she reaches her full total lunar eclipse on September 7th, right? Anyways, moving on. So over the next few nights, she will noticeably shine in all of her glory. Yes, brighter. And this will happen as she approaches her peak at 2:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay? And reminder in Pisces, that the total lunar eclipse is also a blood moon, which is only visible in Africa, Asia, and Australia. Okay? Oh, and some parts of Europe. So, if you're in those areas, look for a gorgeous blood moon lunar eclipse on the 7th. And this is also the corn moon, by the way. Now, why did I say that about it being the corn moon? Because this season, it's not classified as a harvest. So you see, at midnight, it will be officially the 5th, right? And meaning right now, it's still the 4th, right? Let me double check my time just to make sure it hasn't sped up on me. 10 p.m. currently, right? Okay, so we have 2 days left before the full moon, right? Now, the full moon, which is also a lunar blood moon eclipse, only visible in certain areas, remember that. Okay, so gorgeous, beautiful Luna in many of her phases, right? In all her glory. Yes, because she's so gorgeous. I love her so much, right? Okay, so this is going to amplify intuition, right? Psychic senses are going to be enhanced. However, this is a time of reckoning. May I remind you, it is indeed a time of reckoning. What do I mean by that? I mean that it's a time of culmination. Okay? A great time for shadow work. But wait, there's more. Yes, there's more. Didn't think I'd leave you hanging, did you? No. Okay, so what is also important here is that this is, because during lunar eclipse phases, the energy is releasing karmics, right? It's a karmic turning point when we go through this type of energy, right? So, we're talking about endings, okay? So, completed cycles, endings, right? And transformation from death and rebirth, right? I've been seeing the number 13 a lot, right? Threes are really very relevant at this time. And I can't forget to mention that double fives, right, are very relevant too, okay? So we have 10 that's really relevant with 13. 3 and 4 is, or 3 and 1 is 4, and that's foundation that we're talking about. So new beginnings, that's going to happen. But what do we have to do? That means get the skeletons out of the closet. Drop the baggage. You don't need the extra bull BS, right? Okay. I think we get the point here, ladies and gentlemen. So after the eclipse, right, gorgeous Luna is going to start gradually shifting into her waning phases, right? And that's going to be September 8th through the 20th. And as she gradually shifts, she's going to become less and less brighter each night. Okay? And this always fascinates me because for me personally, I love to honor the beauty of all her phases, right? Because I look at it as a reminder that as we're releasing things and as we're integrating things, right, that we show up with gratitude for the lessons that we've learned as we integrate the deeper meaning and reasons to the lessons or whatever it is that we are working on. If you work with moonology or not, anyways. So as I'm making this video for y'all, I was gonna step outside to finish the last part, right? Here, take a walk with me, part 2. Don't get to see that every day, do we? No. Anyways, don't want to stay out there too long, right? That was long enough. So, what I was saying was, now we're going to start moving into 2 days. After the 20th, we'll have 2 days left, right? Before September 22nd, which is the equinox. Autumn Equinox, to be more specific, because equal day and night transition into the northern hemisphere. Now, that's what's going to tie all this together so beautifully. Weaved like a beautiful handbasket. Yes, indeed. It does. So magical and magically delicious. Yes. Now, this also is where things start to balance out as we transition through this energetic gateway, right? As the eclipse energies sit with us for the next 2 weeks after the 7th through the 8th, right? And then we ride this out and, gradually, because it's like poetry, is it not? Like poetry, how we just take our time gradually going through this energetic portal, right? Right? Yes. Yes, that's right. And this guides us back to the calmer seasons where we can reflect, take our time to reflect as we go into the darker half of the year. Oh, and the numerology for today, keep watching. All right. Welcome, welcome. I wanted you to have this view because I am going to talk about the numerology real quick, and then I'm going to move into the Making Magic Manifestation Candle Magic deck by Priestess Moon and the Enchanted Witches Oracle deck as well. Both decks are by Priestess Moon. In case anybody's wondering, I'm going to light an incense real quick and then let's go ahead and jump into this. I will be reading from the book for these, But trust and know that whatever comes out is meant for you to hear for this time period, for this portal that we're in. Okay? Some Egyptian incense. Okay. Now, you've seen all the screenshots, right? So, it all started at 3:32 in the morning for me, right? If you look in my video posts here on my profile, then you will see that I posted a video at around 3:33 in the morning, because I started recording and caught 3:32, and I'm showing the sign, right? Because the gas station sign was 333 and 369, right? That was in the morning before I went to sleep. So, it was officially the 4th, just the early AM hours, right? And so that, I got that screenshot and I got that sign, the video, marking that timeline, right? That was the whole reason I shared that moment with everybody at that time, right? So, in all reality, even though I was talking on a video and sharing that moment with everybody in real time, as in non-linear time, right? If you know, you know. Well, how I feel about it is the day still begun in silence, because a lot of people sleep at that time, right? So, anyways, moving on. 332, right? 3 and 3 being 6, and then 6 plus 2 is 8. So we have the equation of the threes, right? And the threes collapse into the infinite, right? So it's cycles of expression turning into balance, and balance turns to flow, and the karmic loop opens. So what is given will return is what this is talking about. So once I woke up and everything, yada, 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 right? Here, I have my times here. Okay, so as I was saying, once I woke up, you know, so it was 12:11, right on the money. When I looked at my phone, it was 12:11, and so that's midday. And this is where the current heightens at this time, because we have a master number, and then we have 2 plus 1 equals 3, right? So we have 11 and 3. So we have the number of awakening and lights in the field, right? So it's, with that trinity there, it's like a reminder for us that some things just don't stay contained, right? And that's where, and why I'm sharing everything about the moon cycle and everything while we're in this portal window, right? That we're in. It's where the illumination meets expression. And as this happens, it's bringing things from deep down to the surface, and the lessons become a living voice, right? So when I caught 1244, you know, this is Trinity arriving again with that 3, right? And I've been talking a lot on my channel the past couple of months about Trinity, you know, mind, body, soul, right? And so 44, another master number here, during this portal, and while I'm catching these screenshots, you know, that's the builder number. So we have 44 and 3, right? So what we're talking about here is the vision demanding like a scaffolding, right? So it's where the structure wants to descend, but it can't come without expression. So the blueprint needs to breathe of creation, and that's where the 3 steps back in and supplies it. Because funny enough, right, in the afternoon time we get 33 and 1 because of 133 on my screenshot. So this is where that master teacher is stepping through during this portal time, right? And with the 1 being there, we're really highlighting where the service is chosen, right? Where our compassion is crowned with will. So the teacher walks forward, you know, marrying the heart and sovereignty, guided by the ignition of the 1, right? So, and then moments later, and keep in mind that I'm making my video this entire time, right? So moments later is very shortly after, obviously. Okay, I look at my phone again, and the builder returns again at 144. So now we have 44 and 1. So we have the structure aligning with the whole singular focus, y'all, right? Because the builder's power doesn't scatter. It roots into the sovereign will of the one who begins again, right? And I was talking about transformation and death and rebirth. So at 2:10, I catch another screenshot, and we have 10 and 3, right? There's Trinity again. So we have 13, and I was just talking about transformation being in the energetic timeline that we're walking through with the moon phases right now. 13 is death and rebirth, right? It's the death card in tarot. So completion rolls into communication here, y'all. And the seed of renewal breaks the ground, right? And it's as this expression, right? Because I was, you know, like, I've been really attracted to fire lately. So maybe a lot of you who are hearing this are Sagittarius or Aries or Leo, or you could have it in your chart. Anyways, so as this seed of renewal breaks the ground as expression, right? This is where the co-creation begins. It begins right here, where cycles turn into the shared voice. So when I caught 355, we have 55 and 3. We have another master number. That's 3 master numbers in a row already, right? This is where the axis shifts, right? 55 and 3, because we're talking about transformation, right? It clears the stage, meaning that our personal freedom is no longer just an inner feeling. It becomes the message itself. So change demands to be spoken here, right? And then when I catch 555, we have 55 and 5, right? So the evening today starts deepening with the 555, and it just comes crashing in like a tidal wave, really. And, you know, restructuring here of the foundation starts to pour through, because the master number, as I mentioned earlier, I've been seeing 5s a lot. 1010 was the going out at the end here. It was the last screenshot I caught while I was making the video too, by the way. So it multiplies and it's accelerating, taking us back to that 1. So it's like evolution unraveling. It's the change in evolution, where the freedom aspect of our inner outer world is multiplied into more freedom, into more movement, right? So when I catch 922, we are now revisiting yet again another master number with the 22. So we have 22 and 9 here. So the master architect appears, right? The structure is drawn from the wisdom, the completion informs the creation, and the great design aligns with higher cycles. And then taking y'all out with the 10-10, right? So we have 10-10 here. And so we got the 10-2. So we have the twins, the tens, the mirroring of one another. So endings are ultimately folding back into beginnings, partnerships, and it steadies the whole cycle where balance is restored and the circle completes, which is confirmation for the equinox on September 22nd. So it rolls out beautifully. It really does. So, all right, let's see what comes out here. And this is a collective read too, by the way, and it will be for this time frame. But remember, everything is timeless, all right? The only thing that's going to change and shift and continue fluidly to move is the energies itself, right? Exactly. Yes. And I'm going to read from the book from this because I do not know this whole entire deck by heart or anything like that. So yeah, there's that. I mean, anybody who memorized every single deck that's out there, good luck with that. We're going to do a triple cut here. All right. Let's see what comes out. What messages do you have for the collective, please? I wonder if I got something sticky on it. I did spill a drink the other day, but I know it didn't get my cards. Could be just the humidity. Thank you. And we have clarity. And I was speaking on clarity, which is funny that comes out, right? And then we have ambition here, all right? Now, I still feel like there's one more here. I get one more, please, to complete Trinity. One more, please, to complete the Trinity. Thank you. Thank you. You want me to take this one? Patience. And what I said, I was talking about how as we're phasing through this moon cycle, right? When after the 8th to the 20th, I was talking about how she gradually phases back into the waning cycle, right? And as she does this day by day, it's a nice reminder to be grateful and appreciate the beauty of taking our time, as especially when it comes to healing work and shadow work. Like if you're doing a lot of that, it reminds us that she's not doing it in a big hurry. This energy is a beautiful, slow energy, and with patience or temperance, right? With temperance, it's a gorgeous thing. 11:44 on the clock, as I say that, right? So there's that 11:44, right? We got two master numbers here: the builder and the awakening, right? So let's jump into the messages from the book, right? All right, so we have clarity, ambition, and patience. That's how that came out. All right. Okay. So, clarity, focus, goals, life purpose. Rosemary. The stringent herbaceous notes of rosemary help to encourage mental clarity and a sharp mind. Rosemary is often used in spells to aid successful study and excellent concentration. In 1649, the famous botanist Culpeper described rosemary as quick and piercing and assured that little goes a long way. Rosemary receives and helps our memory. It is refreshing, healing, and clean. On a metaphysical level, rosemary helps us to complete our spiritual responsibilities while here on the earth. The symbolism of this card, the Priestess of Clarity stands confident and focused beneath a healing herb wheel, which is awesome because we're talking about cycles and completions, right? The botanicals represented here, are rosemary, chamomile, echinacea, I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, echinacea, sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Ginger, St. John's wort, and thyme. These herbs have stood the test of time as some of the most versatile and useful botanicals Mother Nature has provided us. Medieval symbols for protection against self-doubt surround the priestess, and her wings symbolize that she is spiritual as well as a earthly being. The Scottish Gaelic words gleis, bloth, which translate to wise flower, feature in this image. This image here. I'll take pictures. When the Priestess of Clarity appears, it is time for absolute focus. You may have a big undertaking ahead of you that needs your full attention. Break tasks into small, achievable goals. Write down every single step you need to take to accomplish your goal. If easily distracted, the judicious use of a timer to allow yourself productive time and rest time throughout the day may help. Attempt 20 minutes of uninterrupted work or study, then alternate with 20 minutes of unstructured me time. Play with the times and see what works. You will be amazed at how much you can achieve with just these small amounts of focused time. Consider that each step toward your goal is a step toward fulfilling your life purpose here on earth. Rosemary Posy. Harness the freshness of rosemary to take this little nosegay, right? This herbal posy aids clear thought and is the perfect study buddy to have at your desk while you work. Gather 7 generous sprigs of rosemary and wash them well. Tie them together in a small bouquet with a beautiful emerald green ribbon. Crush the leaves periodically to set free the herbaceous tang, stimulating your mind to release dull and puffy thoughts and allowing you to achieve your best. All right. I need to take off my hoodie because I'm burning up. I turned the air conditioner off because it's noisy. All right. A lot of background noise to it. All right. Move on. Moving on. Ambition. Wow. We flipped right to it. Imagine that. Okay, so birch, Betula pendula. Help if I could see better. The birch tree is renowned for its resilience and ability to thrive in harsh conditions. It is a tree always reaching for the light, striving for life. Often, birch trees were used as maypoles at Beltane fire festivals to symbolize renewal and fertility. Medicinally, the birch leaves, bark, and sap were used in medieval times for their anti-inflammatory properties in terms of kitchen magic. A brew made from birch twigs was used to sweep away the old year and bring in the fresh new year. Page 11. Leadership, confidence, and motivation. The priestess of ambition stands beneath a wheel of birch catkins and leaves. Beside her is a white stag, the spirit animal of the birch. The birch tree is the first tree in the Celtic tree alphabet, the ogam, and as such can indicate new beginnings. And remember, I spoke on new beginnings earlier. Can't make this stuff up. The color energy of the birch is violet, which aligns with the Northern Hemisphere's winter and New Year's Eve celebrations, falling between 24th of December and 20th of January. Note, even though in the Southern Hemisphere wintertime falls between 24th of June and 20th of July, the Northern Hemisphere dates and therefore zodiac signs are used. Divination. When the priestess of ambition appears, it is time to step up into a leadership role. And what did I say? I was feeling that fiery energy and that creative energy, right? So in this situation, charm and wit, as well as a large dash of confidence are required. Motivating yourself and others to achieve something wonderfully daring and adventurous is strongly indicated. Just as the birch strives to blossom and thrive in icy conditions, so the lesson here is to keep going despite the odds stacked against you. Birch blessings. Use the magical properties of birch to bring luck to an ambitious new adventure. Take a small length of birch and 3 different colored ribbons, purple, gold, and white. Weave the ribbons. Weave the ribbons together in a plate-like manner and then spiral them around the branch. Create a symbol that represents your new project, e.g. spirals, pentagrams, or triangles with wings, and draw it on a piece of cardboard. Attach this symbol to the end of the plaited ribbons. The end result will be a wand-like charm you can use to direct powerful energy into the future and manifest your dreams. All right. Patience. Oh, by the way, here's that ambition card. Like I said, I'll post pictures. This is patience we're on now. These cards are beautiful, ain't they? Grace, perspective, higher purpose. Willow, Salek Sabah. The graceful willow tree usually grows close to water, and as such, has many connotations with water legends, emotions, and the moon goddess. The magical properties of willow extend to moon magic, protection, and love spells. Willow bark contains pain-relieving properties and was used extensively in medieval times to bring respite to physical suffering. The priestess of patience stands serenely among the catkins, leaves, and seed pods of the willow tree, clothed in emerald green. A sea serpent stands beside her as a guardian of the willow, symbolizing the deep, watery depths of mortal emotion. The priestess of patience is associated with the Northern Hemisphere's mid-spring, spanning from the 15th of April to the 12th of May, and includes the fertility festival of Beltane. This is true. The willow teaches us patience and the wisdom of waiting for things to ripen at their own pace. The divination here, when the patience card appears, the lesson is to be content and to wait. Patience encourages us to see the bigger picture, to rise above petty arguments and small ideas and have the fortitude to ride things out. Understanding the higher purpose of your current situation is important, and this may mean that things will not happen as quickly as you expect them to. The key words associated with the willow tree are grace, guidance, and protection. Try using a different viewpoint to see your situation from a fresh angle. Imagine that you are looking at your life from above rather than getting caught up in all the little details. This can give you some much needed perspective. Willow weaving spell. This spell is meditative and can test your patience. On the night of a full moon, take 2 slender willow twigs and cross them into an X shape. Using green-colored wool or ribbon, secure the cross and wrap the wool or ribbon around the twigs, weaving it over and under, much the same as making an Eye of God charm. This action allows your mind to slow and requires patient fingers, to make a beautiful pattern. Keep this willow charm in a prominent place as a reminder that all things come to those who wait. Let's see what comes out of the making magic. Goddess, healing feminine energy. We knew that one was going to come out. Achievement. Nice. On target. They're saying stop there. Keep it in the Trinity. So, Goddess, the healing feminine energy. Achievement, win the award, accolade, or contract. And on target. Follow your ideal life path. Which is interesting. My life path is a life path 9, right? Which is funny because we're in the year of the 9, right? And I'm a Scorpio moon. So, all right. But I'm going to stop this here. Let me know. Drop comments. Let me know how this resonated for you. Much love to each and every one of you. Much love, much love, much love. Mwah.